Welcome to SFN, your preeminent source for space and defense news and all things tangentially related. We're your hosts, loyal to the foil here at Houston Mission Control. And we've got Alara of Sirius in low Earth orbit. And we're here live every Sunday night.
Welcome to Space Force News number 16. I am Alara
Space peeps!
Right? I am Alara of Sirius. This is Loyal to the Foil. We're happy to be here as usual. We love our space peeps. Can we get a 5x5 in the chat, guys, if the sound is good and we are good to go? Yeah. So, Space Force. Here we are.
Right? Space Force.
Hi, Dennis. Hi, Alfredo. We got two Dennises. Lazar Am, Yovanda, Divine Fractal, Cad Spotter, Miracle Girly, Brad Whitlock, Rainbow Snuggle Fritz. Good to see you guys. So yeah, quite a week, right? For space happenings though, like,
What up, Pissy Chrissy?
Foil, how's your week been?
Man, well, before we even do all that, now hold on. Alara has a confession to make. Yes, she does. For those of you that caught her interview this past week, help me out here.
Mason.
Who was the interview with?
I was
Mason. With Mason.
Yeah. I'm happy. I'm helping her throw me under the bus right now. Look at this.
Alara took a whole 5 minutes to go in on me about my Amazon shopping. That I am somehow debasing this next dimensional shift, by shopping with these tyrants, these tech tyrants. So she's telling me today, tomorrow I got something coming in the mail. Go ahead, tell the story, Alara. What'd you do?
My ring light broke. And I couldn't cut a deal with Kate, so I had to buy a new ring light from Amazon.
Where'd you buy it for? Yep.
Yeah.
See?
Well,
that's that mess right there.
Right. I get it.
I'm just saying.
I know. She's pissed, you guys. She's super pissed. Thank you for the 5x5s in the chat. I'm good. Our sound's good. We're good to go. Yeah. So Foil just threw me under the bus. That happened.
You just change the subject, Laura.
Yeah, it's fine. I still got my hair. Starbucks cup. Right?
Look
you
at
like
that.
it? It's so red and fiery now, huh?
Wow.
It matches my fiery, cartoonish personality perfectly, I think. Right?
Right?
I think it's much more exciting than the gray streak. That just was too old for
I
the
think I'm gonna have just these two gray streaks right here. Why do I hear Caesar?
Oh no.
We
got Caesar drama again?
I know. I don't know what I'm hearing, but never know, peeps.
Oh, last week you just up and left the show. I was like, what?
I
was saying dictorate and everything. It was out of hand.
That wasn't my fault.
I said the dictorate. The chat goes,
that was the Chi-Coms. They was attacking my computer. I'm convinced.
Look, I got my Space Mouse Super Soldier shirt on. You can't really see it because
that's snazzy.
So, I got my that's our mascot, Space Mouse. I'm really excited.
We got merch.
Yeah, we got.
I gotta order one of them hoodies.
I gotta work on more shirts. I gotta get spaceships going. But I really love the Space Mouse.
Spaceships.
Yeah,
we need spaceships.
Yeah, so it's gonna be. I'm get on it. I'll go design some more stuff. Thanks, you guys. Michael says the hair looks much better. I'm glad you guys approve. Ooh, I'm getting the hair is awesome.
Woohoo!
All right, awesome. So yeah, you guys, I bought one ring light from Amazon, and I feel really bad about it. I'm not gonna do that again. And
she won't be saying nothing else to me. I know that for sure.
I'm not gonna do. I did it once. Okay. I mean, I'm sure I've left a cigarette butt once too. You know what I mean? So I mean,
right?
Yeah. So where was I before you distracted me? Oh yeah. So why don't you now go ahead and throw you under the bus? So why haven't we contacted Space Force yet, Foil?
Man, you guys, I got IRL issues. No, we will. We'll do it this week. We have the questions. They're written up, typed up. We have to contact them via email first. You know this.
Right.
We're gonna have to get them to respond to us via email. We have to get a contact name, and then we're gonna have to reach out to a person. And it has just been.
You know how exciting that episode is gonna be though, when we're like, hey, you guys, we're not going over articles today. We're actually going over.
Yeah, they finally responded.
Right.
They're gonna have to respond.
We were on hold for 2 days.
Right.
And they finally responded. Right.
Right.
I love Sunday nights.
We're gonna get it done.
I love Sunday night. I really love hanging out with our space peeps. It's a lot of fun. So, Yeah, okay, so that's really the only thing I think we had to cover. Our topics tonight, you guys, we're going to be going into ET disclosure, of course, because this is Commander Alara. This is Space Force News with Loyal to the Foil, and there was ET disclosure this week, so of course we're going to cover it. Super Soldiers made the mainstream news, so we'll be covering that. The Cosmic Web, which, who tagged us in that? Do you remember? I need to go and look and see who tagged it and credit them for that.
I have the tweet bookmarked, but...
The SpaceX crash landing, which was super dynamic, and so much more.
It was a win, Alara. Don't you talk about my dude like that.
Yeah, I know. Elon was totally happy about it. He was so excited.
Hey, you learn from failure.
Right? Yeah, he's into it, too. He likes it. So, yeah. I mean, it really did went well for a rocket launch. It did.
Did you see that then his other prototype literally fell over?
No, I didn't see that part. I don't spend
the one blows up and the other one falls over.
I try to stay up to date because of this show on what Elon's doing with his rockets, but really, it's not something that I do full time by any means.
You better be paying attention to his packages. I don't know what else to tell you.
Okay, yeah. Hi, Brad. Hi, A. Vincent. Hi. Hi, Mom. You don't, Mom, I'm going to take your wrench away. I don't want to feel like you have to do that stuff. Look, I'm taking a wrench right now.
Don't do that to Mom.
No, because I don't want her to feel like she's got to sit there and moderate. She's my mom. I want her to just hang out and have fun with the peeps. And I don't want her to feel like she's got it. If she wants to do
work.
If she wants to do little moderator duties, Mom, feel free. I love you. Thank you. And I appreciate it. But I'm not going to give you the duty of having the wrench and feeling like you have to hit people in the head with it and you have to, do what the other moderators do. Just hang out, relax.
Right. Just come chill with us.
If you feel the need to say something, cool, Mom. If you don't, it's fine. You know what I mean? You're my mom and just glad that you're here. Even if this is how we're spending time, it works. And I'm happy that you're here. Yeah.
It's 2020, man.
Hi, Luke. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Hi, Divine Fractal. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into some Space Force news.
Let's get into this.
All right, let's do it. So it looks like first up we got Space Force is getting its first 2 bases.
About time.
Right? All right, so...
They've been giving our peeps the runaround.
Space Force is getting its first 2 bases. 2 key Air Force bases in Florida with space missions have been officially redesignated as U.S. Space Force bases. During the 8th meeting of the National Space Council at Cape Canaveral, Florida on Wednesday, Vice President Mike Pence said that Cape Canaveral Air Force Station and nearby Patrick Air Force Base will now be known as Cape Canaveral Space Force Station and Patrick Space Force Base. It's going to take me a while to remember all that, my friend.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, I'm going to be mutilating that for a hot minute, right, you guys? You know I am.
There are 2. That's the important part.
Today is a great day, and guys, so now they know why my lighting's messed up. Yes, my light broke. I'm using a temporary light, and I'm already in trouble for ordering a light from Amazon. And now you guys know I won't order Amazon stuff, because if I do, Full will be the first one to tell you about it.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that, right?
All right, so today is a great day for our military, Florida and America, the Vice President tweeted following his announcement. General John Raymond, the head of Space Force, added via Twitter that the bases redesignations begin a new era, aligning them with their critical missions. The renaming, however, has not been sanctioned by lawmakers. No, listen to this. Wait, let me take this. It's getting warm in here, dude. I can't do the jacket indoors with the studio lights. Yeah. Right?
Woo!
Soft foil. Don't start getting me laughing already. I don't even have my water in here either. Oh, this is good. This is not good. I don't have my water. Okay. So listen to this. The renaming, however, has not been sanctioned by lawmakers. I already said that, right? In the final version... That's smart, foil. That's smart. In the final version of the House and Senate Armed Services Committee's fiscal 2020, national...
You got this.
Stop giving me that look. All right. In the final version... of the House and State Armed Services Committee's fiscal 2021 National Defense Authorization Act released last week, lawmakers included a provision to require that a military base belonging to the Air Force or any other service may not be transferred to the jurisdiction or command of the Space Force until the Secretary of the Air Force briefs the Congressional Defense Committees on the results of the business case analysis conducted by the Secretary in connection with the transfer.
They're trying to micromanage like they do with everything else Space Force, man.
A similar separate provision was introduced in June. However, only the House has approved the compromise defense bill, which President Donald Trump has threatened to veto over Section 230, which shields tech and communication companies. Now, that wasn't me this time,
They did that
you
just
guys.
for you, right?
That was the
They
article.
did that just for you.
That's right. All right. Communication companies from some liability over user activity. Despite pending legislation, officials plan to press ahead with the redesignation announcement to coincide with the Space Force's first birthday, Defense One reported earlier this week, citing unnamed U.S. officials familiar with the discussion. While the move would violate a gentleman's agreement with congressional staffers who asked the military not to rename any bases until the latest NDAA became law, the renaming of Cape Canaveral and Patrick was imminent, the publication reported. Earlier this year, the Space Force began redesignating Air Force units with a space-only mission. It said it would don't even tell me yet, would realign and rename Air Force bases to Space Force bases accordingly. It was so funny. What'd they say? Are they laughing at me in the chat?
No, Pissy Chrissy has this new White Claw obsession. She said that every time I make you laugh, she's drinking.
Oh, they're gonna start drinking games for every time.
You're a drinking game, man.
I'm now a drinking game. That's cool. I'm cool with it. Yeah.
Right.
Hey, I roll like that.
Some White Claws, like alcoholic water. I mean, they really hate us. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so here we are. Pentagon industry investing in Space Force simulations. Oh, yeah, man. So, do I have it over there? Yeah, okay. As the Space Force nears the first anniversary of its creation, we're almost at the 1-year anniversary of Space Force. And didn't they say they were... Birthday, dear Space Force.
Right.
Happy birthday.
To you.
To you. We should have done the sultry version. We could always do that.
We're gonna have to make some Marilyn Monroe Space Force memes.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah. For their birthday.
Okay, so
they'll never talk to us.
Right. Foil, quit being so pessimistic, you know?
I am an optimist, ma'am.
Raise your vibration.
This is just, it's a facade.
Right. All right, so where was I, Foil, before...
At the very beginning, as the Space Force nears the first anniversary. We did that part. Yeah.
Right, we did that part. Okay. The new service is continuing to build out the framework for training warfighters for a future conflict that could take place in space. Major General John Shaw, commander of the combined... This is going to go really interesting with me not having any water. All I have is coffee.
Oh,
That's just going to make it worse. All right. Commander of the Combined Force Space Component at U.S. Space Command. They really got to get some acronyms together, man.
I know. Their naming is the worst.
They got to get some acronyms. And Deputy Commander of the Space Force's Space Operations Command touted the importance of better simulators during the Virtual Training and Simulation Industry Symposium. I said that one right. That was good.
Very good.
Which was hosted by the National Training and Simulation Association. Why couldn't they have even made that one easier to pronounce?
I don't know. They have a simulation association? That sounds fun.
The National Training and Simulation Association, right? It sounds fun. NTSA is an affiliate of the National Defense Industrial Association. Whew, so many associations. We really don't have simulators today in which to train our folks, Shaw said. We need to develop those. We need better modeling and simulation capabilities where we can actually model a potential conflict and fight, change the variables, conduct war games, and do this at a scale and scope that we have not really done at this point.
I want to mess with the space war simulator.
They want to play virtual space games. I'm down with it, dude.
Space war.
They need to let us play, right? Hey,
That'd
we need to come. Hey, we need to come report on the virtual space games. Will you let us come play? Right.
We'll print our own press passes. Don't worry.
All right. So moving forward, see, I love how that works. Moving forward, the service is looking at how it will train students to understand weapon systems and capabilities from the inside out. She said during an interview with the Space Force Association this summer. We're going to get very detailed and very specific in force packaging those various tracks and how we would fight a war that could potentially expand into space, she noted. As the surface better defines these tactics, strategies, and the positions its warfighters will fill, that clarity will drive how training evolves, said Frank Backies, Senior Vice President for Federal Space-Related Business at Kratos Defense and Security Solutions.
Federal space-related business.
They're still defining a lot of those components, and we're starting to see training needs on a program-by-program basis, he said. Next generation, I believe we're going to start seeing integrated training requirements across the Space Force as a whole. Prior to space being designated as a warfighting domain, it was seen as a benign environment.
And it was never seen as a benign environment.
Come on,
they
guys.
lied.
Yeah, I'm not buying. Where's the fake news button?
Right.
Why do you always forget the fake news button?
I'm sorry.
I mean, when those moments come up where we need the fake news button and it's not here, I mean,
this is like they're trying to just blame Trump for some stuff. Like, you know, like Solar Warden, like they haven't been weaponizing and space since way back. Like, come on now. They just want to blame Trump for everything.
Yeah. So, given that scenario, the way our military operated when they did wargaming and those types of things, it didn't really include a lot of space capability, he said. Today, obviously, that has changed significantly. Now the military and industry are looking at how assets are affected by threats from the ground and other spacecraft, he noted. How assets are affected by threats from the ground and other spacecraft, he noted. By the way, I want to say something. So, the directed energy weapons, I think a lot of them are coming from the ground, Foil, and not necessarily space.
Well, I've seen theory on that.
Really? Because the evidence I've seen really leads me to believe that, and a lot of comments that they make leads me to believe that as well.
Well, I mean, I guess they might be able to, it might even be something as stupid as directing like HARP transmissions. They bounce that beam of energy off the ionosphere down at a specific target. I mean, that's theoretically possible.
You remember the Norway spiral thing? Now, whatever you want to call that, if that was them using tech to open a portal, or if that was
the rocket,
blue beam,
it was
right?
The
like
rocket,
this. Oh, end over end, the rocket, right?
Right.
So whatever that was, right? Clearly, whatever it was coming from the ground.
Or a plane, as Zombies Are Next points out. Yeah, it could be a mobile.
Or a plane. I am a firm believer that the drones, you remember that drone thing we had like last summer where the drones were all over the place, people were freaking out, where are the drones coming from? Those are coming from a plane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did a deep dive into those drones.
Yeah,
and where they came from, I tracked them.
I don't think I pulled it for this show, but DARPA has been doing experiments with their drone swarms, their weaponized drone swarms. I just saw it yesterday after we had already done the list.
Yeah, so
DARPA, of course, the mad scientists over there.
So where was I on here? So now the military is here looking at how assets are affected by threats from the ground and other spacecraft, he noted. There's another article, I think it's right after this. There's some pretty interesting statements in it. Those threats could be radio frequency communication interference, either intentional or unintentional, or those threats could be kinetic threats, where two satellites collide, or a satellite is a kinetic threat vehicle that could intentionally collide with another space asset. Hold on. Let me just read that. Let me just read that again, okay? Or a satellite is a kinetic threat vehicle that could intentionally collide with another space asset.
Yeah, bumper cars. Space
There
wrecks.
are other types of threats as well that could impact space systems. So really, what we're trying to do now is retrain or train our new Space Force operators to understand these threats. Understand how to recognize the threat and how to mitigate them. It's an interesting paragraph. The company is investing in a Space Force mission trainer concept using virtual, augmented, and mixed reality technology. Sounds a lot like what we're already in. That it believes could be foundational to the service as it fleshes out and defines what its operators will do, he said. Virtual reality, or VR, immerses users in a computer-generated environment such as video gaming. Augmented reality, or AR, transposes data.
Dater.
Is that like Gator? Is that like Gator? Let me read
that
dater. All right, augmented reality or AR transposes data or other digitally created images on top of a real-world field of view. Which, if you guys haven't seen it, the dragon in Asia that they let off at the stadium.
That thing, yeah.
We gotta show them that next week. Okay, this dragon shows up, it scares everybody, it starts ripping things apart, things fall down.
I'll write it down.
Like real things start falling down, and it's. I mean, you could just imagine.
Yeah, but it was done without the use of
no visual tech. Right. Just that just shows you right there what they're capable of. When I saw that, I was like, oh, imagine if they did that with ETs and ships. People would be running, freaking out, dude. Like some of us would be like, ah, look, it's Bluebeam. How cool. But then there'd be like this whole other element of people that'd be like, we're getting invaded.
Man,
right?
Listen.
Hey, I'd be like eating my popcorn on the porch, just like, let's do this, right? This is hysterical.
I'll go determine the level of the threat from some safe place, and then I'll happily come out.
She'll be
decide.
Foil will be underground in her bunker assessing the threat level. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So, okay, so it's not a scripted or textbook kind of training environment. It's an environment that really immerses you into the reality of the situation. In many cases, allows you to use the actual tools you would use during a warfighting scenario and train as if you were in conflict. Oh, so you get to fight them with weapons.
That'd be great fun, actually.
Right? The technology is currently being used by the Defense Department to train KC-46 Pegasus tanker pilots. The company also created the Marine Common Aircrew Trainer that enables service members to train on 3 different platforms. Kratos is taking those training and simulation engines and applying that technology to scenarios relevant for space warfighters. The technology is the same technology, but now we're combining that with our other expertise we have in satellite communications and space command and control to bring a Space Force-focused capability, he said. The technology will allow warfighters to simulate combating threats in a contested, degraded, and operationally limited space environment. Backies described one training scenario.
I guess.
Let's say you're trying to simulate a radio frequency threat to the communications infrastructure of space systems. You would want to be able to insert that threat or a simulated version of the threat into a live communications environment that would allow the operators to be using their actual systems and see how interference would impact their ability to do their job. The company has the capability continuously after its training environment to keep pace with the evolving threats, he said. The virtualized and dynamic approach allows you to keep changing the way you are doing training based on what's happening in the real world. So I don't think we need to go any more into this article, but yeah, that's sounds like something they need to let us do, right? I want some weapons. I want to fight some other space operators with some weapons.
Right. I'll happily test their tech out. Sounds like fun to me.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. All right, so Space Force opens SpaceWorks Technology Accelerator in Los Angeles.
Ooh.
Right. Dun, dun, dun.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Lieutenant General Thompson, SpaceWorks. We will help us ensure the Space Force can tap into cutting-edge space technologies. Will Rogers, Assistant Secretary of the Air Force for Acquisition, Technology, and Logistics.
Will Rogers.
Right. Is that Mr. Rogers' name? Don't ask that.
No,
they said don't
Will.
Ask that.
Will Roper, man. Yes, Will Rogers. I don't know what is Mr. Rogers' first name. I don't know. Does anybody know?
I don't know. He's just Mr. Rogers. I never knew what his first name was. I mean, it could be Will. I'm thinking, it could be Will.
I mean, it sounds,
so
reasonable.
Will Rogers, not Mr. Rogers, Assistant Secretary of the Air Force. Will Roper.
Yeah, that guy.
Announced December 7th the opening of a technology accelerator office that will work with... See, I didn't wear eyeliner today just for this reason. That will work with commercial companies in the space industry. Known as SpaceWorks, the new organization will be the space arm of Afterworks.
Yeah.
Afterworks, Roper said. Well, during a virtual event in the joint appearance with Lieutenant General John Thompson, commander of the Space and Missile Systems Center. Thompson said SpaceWorks will be located at the SMC campus in Los Angeles and will be led by Lieutenant Colonel Rock McMillan. I like that name. That's good.
The Rock.
SpaceWorks will align innovation efforts to space...
Fred.
Huh? Oh, you're talking to them.
It's Fred. It's Fred Rogers.
We're still talking about
Rogers.
Mr. Rogers, you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
SpaceWorks will align innovation efforts to space operators and space acquisition, said Thompson. He said Los Angeles is home to many commercial and defense space innovators. The global space economy continues to grow, and we want to take advantage of that growth, expand the industrial base, and leverage commercial investment, said Thompson. SpaceWorks will help us ensure the Space Force can tap into cutting-edge space technologies.
I don't know why they're bothering with LA. They're just all going to end up in Austin in like 2 years anyway.
Right? It's true. Afterworks has been hailed by Roper and other leaders as a success in attracting commercial companies to the defense market. The program conducts challenges, pitch events where companies compete for contracts that get matched by private investors. Afterworks is located, that's what I'm going to call it. I'm calling it Afterworks. What should I call it?
Afterworks.
Yeah, I'm going to call it Afterworks. It's focused on
Don't
being a
ask me,
trusted partner for advancing dual-use technologies across the innovation ecosystem, said Colonel Nathan Diller, Afterworks director. Air Force Secretary Heather Wilson announced the launch of Afterworks July 21st, 2017, during a visit to Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada. It is based on the SOF Works, the SOFWorks model, used by Special Operations Command to attract technology startups and do rapid prototyping.
So, yep. I literally, like, everything is leaving California to go to Texas. I don't know what they're doing.
Right.
And especially, like, I mean,
hey, I left California and went to Texas long ago.
Yeah, it seems like Texas seems to be a hub of emerging tech, like a tech incubator of some sort.
Seriously. All right, so I didn't understand this. Maybe you can help me clarify here, Foyle. Okay, U.S. Space Force destroys every other military.
Yeah.
What are we laughing
at?
I
thought we needed something to laugh at. That's why I put this in here.
U.S. Space Force destroys every other military service in a Call of Duty tournament. Okay, so is this a video game? Like, I read it and I was like, they never really said video. Okay, that's what I thought,
Call
dude.
of Duty. Yes, Call of Duty is a.
Well, that's what I thought. Game. I was confused.
I just thought it's nice that the Space Force they're allowed to kick some arse. It just isn't in real life, but at least they can do something and make us all proud and whoop on everybody playing COD.
Right? The U.S. Space Force on Friday defeated all the other U.S. and British military services during a Call of Duty tournament. So, hold on. Dun, dun, dun. So this was, Space Force and the British
Yeah, they're
Space
all
Force,
literally sitting around playing video games
and they were
now
literally
because,
sitting around playing Call of Duty and had a tournament.
Yeah.
Yep. The Space Force defeated the Royal Air Force in the finals. I wonder was it really Call of Duty or was like Call of Duty,
it's like literally Call of Duty. Yeah, it was like actual Call of Duty. They had a tournament, and apparently the entire military was involved in just sitting around playing video games for several days.
Wow. Well, we are in the tech age, Foyle. So
we ain't got no problems,
right? I mean, they were preparing, right? I guess.
Right.
The British Army took third place, followed by the U.S. Army, Royal Navy, U.S. Marine Corps, U.S. Navy, and the U.S. Air Force. So I don't think I need to read the article.
No, I just put it up there for us to have
I think we kind of get the point.
Have a joke.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny though.
But yeah, that's cool.
At least they won.
The Space Force is all sitting around playing video games, right? And
right.
You'd think
apparently all of the militaries are just sitting around playing video games right now.
Yeah, they don't seem busy. I mean, if they're doing that, which is concerning, right? But considering we have so much troop movement going on in the world at the moment and a contested election. But, hey, maybe they've got it so under control that they can play Call of Duty,
Right.
I'm hoping.
Might be.
Definitely, that's what I'm hoping.
Might be.
So, Divine Fractal says, Call of Duty is a very famous video game. People have been playing it for years. First-person shooter game. Hey, I never caught on to that video game. I used to play Half-Life. I used to play Half-Life with my dad and my brother, and we'd all be in different cities, and that was like our family bonding. We'd be, like, killing each other in Half-Life. So,
right, so
it's
all in good fun.
I'm really glad I'm not doing that anymore. I
mean,
don't think that was healthy family bonding.
Like Zombie says, they have a mobile one now. I mean, there's probably a point to it. Like, you got to imagine the tech that they're going to be using. I'm sure their hand-eye coordination will be.
I would imagine, yeah.
Kind of important. So,
How come we don't have any So, Trump administration's national space policy formalizes Space Force role. The Pentagon, in a statement, said the new policy document highlights the Department of Defense as a key agency in implementing and achieving the nation's goals in this important domain. I really need my water. The Trump administration released a new national space policy December 9th that articulates U.S. goals in civil space exploration, commercial growth, and national security. The document recognizes the U.S. Space Force as the primary organization responsible for defending the nation's interests in space. The previous version of the National Space Policy was issued by the Obama administration in 2010. The Pentagon, in a statement with the new policy document, highlights the Department of Defense as a key agency in implementing and achieving the nation's goals in this important domain. Acting Secretary of Defense Christopher Miller said, over the last year, we have established the necessary organizations to ensure we can deter hostiles, demonstrate responsible behaviors, defeat aggression, and protect the interests of the United States and our allies. The policy states that the Space Force, which was established in December 2019, is responsible for defending the use of space for U.S. national security purposes. This includes protecting and preserving the lines of communication that are open, safe, and secure in the space domain. The service will also deter adversaries and other actors from conducting activities that may threaten the peaceful use of space for the United States, its allies, and partners, while compelling and imposing costs on adversaries to cease behaviors threatening that peaceful use.
It's mostly peaceful.
Right. It's
we plan for mostly
peaceful space environment, a space environment. Right.
But it's good because now they have codified and given a very specific directive to a specific department. This is the DoD is going to ensure that the Space Force is in control of yada 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 yada. You know what I mean? Instead of breaking it up, here. And not that they couldn't, not that God forbid there be some sort of change in in administrations, not that he couldn't go back and muck this all up, but at least it's been kind of laid out now.
Okay, so Divine Fractal says, in the book and movie Ender's Game, which I've never seen, they have children playing video games to learn to fight aliens. I don't want to give away the ending. Yeah. Watch it. Right?
If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's a good movie.
Okay, sounds good. That's...
Too bad we can't have freaking MAGA movie night.
Right? I know, that sucks. That was so fun too. That would have been a thing, right? People were into that. I was into it.
That would have been a big thing.
Yeah, Brad even made us movie theater seats. I could throw popcorn. I know,
that was so great.
That was great.
Right.
All we did was just troll disclosure movies.
Could have we could do something similar and just kind of like having a rotating schedule. We can make channels that we're willing to sacrifice when they get.
We'd have to make a new channel every week because it would get pulled down, and then
we could probably get 2 weeks out of it. Moving around.
All right. At a point, they'd probably come after our main stuff for violating rules over and over.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
But, foil. That's a good idea. So, all right, let's check out Elon Musk's crazy rocket crash landing.
I know, right?
Yeah, let's check it out. We got a video.
Aww,
let's check it out.
My guy. It was going so well.
Okay, so here we go. This is it here, I think. Here we go. All right, why do we have to have the commercials always? So when the commercial's over, I will play it.
What was that, a raptor?
I don't know, but, they say we have those. Whoops.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, man.
It must be nice to be able to just blow up billions of dollars.
Right?
Keep it moving.
For real, though.
1, 0.
Look at it go. Look at it go.
Right.
For rocket stuff.
Look at that.
For rocket stuff.
You can see it's coming in too hard. Like you can see it was just coming in.
I thought one of the engines went out. That's what I thought happened.
No, it came down.
I thought it couldn't negotiate because one of the engines went out, but apparently that's not what happened. The inspector quickly corrected me on that. Listen to the retro 80s music.
Velocity high.
Listen to the retro 80s music.
That is some awesome music right there.
Right? I can dig it.
Well, this is still good. They know what the problem was. They could fix it. You could freaking see it. It was coming down too fast. And apparently it was something with the fuel system.
Oh, Luke says you can screen share in Discord and set the room up so anyone who joins can watch and comment privileges. Oh, that way we don't have to put it on air and we can do it.
We could do that.
Good idea. Thank you, Luke.
Thank you. Right? That was fun.
Yeah, so did we get to see it do its little thing? Do we want to watch it hit the ground again? Or is it, no, it's over. That's it.
It cut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see it was coming in just way too fast, way too hard. It was too close.
Yeah.
It
was a spectacular crash, though. For crashes, it was...
Man, I love when things blow up. Like, I'm still, kind of old like that.
So what is this article here? I don't even recognize. Okay, Elon Musk, SpaceX suffers second rocket mishap in days as new Starship...
Oh, yeah. I did put it in here. Okay.
Right. Is this got a video or is this just the article?
I don't know. No, I think there may be a video down lower. Hold on. Or not.
This right here?
Yeah, no, it's there. Scroll down. Yeah, you can see it just kind of falls over. Swoop.
Isn't this the video right here?
Wait, nope, scroll down. That's the explosion.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yep.
Right here?
Look. Oh, right
Is this
there.
what we're watching? This is the second one?
Yep.
Okay.
It went a little limp.
It just went limp, fell over?
It did. Apparently it happens.
That's it. It didn't even go up.
Yeah. No.
Wow.
Well, you see, it's in the bay. Like the bay is holding it up at this point, but you can see it. It fell over.
Right. That's the
Like,
problem.
yeah, like the day after you blow up one, the other one just falls over in the bay. Like, that's rough.
Yeah. Rough times there, Elon, you know, but he's
Right?
making
You can
progress.
tell, look, the picture at the bottom was better. You could see more. Did you see it?
He's going to get his rocket to Mars, you know what I mean? He's going to get there.
Oh, he'll listen. That's the
Look.
king of Mars, man. He's going.
All right. He wants to go check out the underground base and the and the Americans.
I mean, think about it. The first person to really get up there, like,
and
I'm
confirm-
planting flags
you know,
and claiming
you know,
everything.
if Elon doesn't know, he'll be the one to say it though. He'll be like, I went there. There's aliens. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're lying to all of you. You know, there's aliens. I don't know if he can find a way to profit somehow, and I mean, he probably would. He did. Look,
Well,
he
he
did it about.
already knows.
He did it about the that 19 test. He was like, this
Listen,
is
you
a
have
bunch
to.
of
You
game.
have to. Yeah, I know, right? Thank
Yeah.
God for that. Listen. He has got to have been read in on so much stuff. I mean, he's a private. It's a allegedly private company carrying official stuff into space in official government capacity. Like, they have got to tell him what's going on. They know what his plans are. I
Right.
mean,
There's Elon's limp rocket. You know.
right?
Right. Hey,
Man.
if I was the Galactic Federation, I'd visit Elon. I'd be like, check it out. We're real, and you know, just
and
letting
this
you
Galactic
know.
Fe-
You're gonna
I'm
see some
still-
things when you get there that are gonna be a little shocking for you, Elon. And you know, we're just prepping you ahead of time,
I'm kind of iffy
trying
on
to
the
get
Galactic
you
Federation,
on
man.
board. All right, well, let's not
Right.
debate the Galactic Federation right now. I'm just
We will when we get to
commenting
it. I
on
promise. But
Elon's
yes,
limp rocket.
yes, I know, right? They definitely should recruit him for something.
Right. So
Yeah.
apparently he's got some financial woes, you guys.
Oh,
Yeah, so poor Elon. Elon Musk's fortune
That's
tumbles $9 billion in one day as JP Morgan warns investors Tesla shares are dramatically overvalued.
Yeah.
JP
That's-
Morgan's
that's
throwing him
like-
under the bus.
Man, if you lose
Who
$9
did he
billion
piss off?
because of a hater, right? Like, off some hate, like, that's all it was. Like, that's crazy. But I mean, it's only $9 billion. He'll be fine.
Tesla's billionaire co-founder and CEO Elon Musk saw his fortune fall $8.9 billion on Wednesday as Tesla stock plunged following a bearish outlook from JP Morgan analysts. In a new report, the bank's analysts warned investors not to add Tesla stock to their portfolios before it was added to the S&P 500 index on December 21st. Tesla shares are not only overvalued but dramatically so, JP Morgan analyst Ryan Brinkman warned. His report maintaining his longtime bearish stance on electric vehicle maker. By market close, shares of Tesla were down by 7%, lowering Musk's net worth to $135.8 billion.
Oh, man.
Enough,
He's practically
right.
starving.
I know, poor guy. Enough to push him back to the number 3 spot on Forbes' ranking of the world's richest people.
You know, Bill Gates is like,
Yeah, he's like,
they're like,
right?
excellent.
Yeah, because
right?
they're totally
Doing a
feuding.
Mr. Burns.
Yeah, they're totally. That's exactly what he's doing too. He's totally stoked about this. So just a day earlier, as Tesla's stock rose following a news of $5 billion capital raise, Musk briefly overtook LVMH chairman Bernard Arnault to become the world's second richest person. Arnault has now regained that title, adding $1 billion to his fortune on Wednesday, which now stands at $145.6
Man, the
billion.
Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy guy is number 2.
Is that who he is? I don't even know who he is.
Yeah, LVMH. You better thank the hood for that.
Elon Musk heads to Texas. Californians don't seem to mind, right? I did that
No.
years ago. I was
Right.
like, I gotta get out of California. This place is going downhill quick. And sure enough,
Everybody's going to Texas.
right?
There was other companies like like 4 or 5 companies this week. Let me look. Go ahead.
What? Are going to Texas? Okay, so here we go.
Yeah.
I'll get started on it. So, like any longtime Californian, Elon Musk has spent a lot of time over the years explaining about his commute. His journey to work was so excruciating, driving from his complex of 6 Bel Air mansions in a luxury SUV. But hey, if I got that kind of money, I'm just saying, I'm not riding around in a car. Okay, it's like seriously, I'm gonna need one of those. What's the little flying things that we talked about on that one episode? The little flying
The
things.
hover.
Yeah, I'm gonna need one of those. I'd have something custom. I'd have something custom built. I am not gonna roll around in a car if I'm him. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? He's got access to, he could build something cool. I would not be rolling around LA in a car.
He's probably got his own hyperloop straight to wherever he wants to go. He takes those secret underground tunnels, I'm sure.
Right. Seriously. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, or a teleportation device. I mean, come on now.
Right. Well, I mean, if he's got that, you'd think he'd take that to Mars.
I mean, he can just blow up rockets.
He likes to blow up rockets, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, it's entertaining.
He goes wherever he wants, and it's Oracle, Hewlett Packard, and Tesla that are all going to Texas now.
That's right. That's who it is.
In addition to all the other stuff we've covered.
So he's going. He's going in a luxury SUV built by his electric car company, his interplanetary space transportation company, 16 miles away. He started an entirely separate company to help him get to the office faster. Now his commute will be longer, as Musk has sold off most of his Los Angeles homes, most of them, and as of this week, left California for Texas. California has been winning for too long. California has been winning for too long, Musk said at the Wall Street event this week. I don't think they're winning too much anymore, but if a team is winning for too long, they tend to get complacent. Oh, I got what he's saying.
He's right.
This isn't the first time he's threatened to leave, and what does that mean? He's teaching the entire naughty state a lesson. So there you go. He took all of his business to Texas, and apparently California doesn't seem to mind. So yes, and that kind of sums it up for SpaceX and Space Force. We're now going to move on to defense.
Oh boy.
U.S. Australia signed agreement to develop virtual training range. Boy, everybody's into this VR situation, aren't they?
It's the future. It's the future. I mean, well, you got to remember, Australia right now is really feeling threatened by China. I mean, they're trying to make all kinds of moves, but so they've agreed as of last week, to team up with the U.S. and build this it's a project, cyber training capabilities project that they're gonna use, and I think they're gonna even invite other countries in. But it's a training platform for them to use to train for real missions.
Hi, Kate. Good to see you out there, and thank you for sending people over this way.
Kate Awakening. Yeah. What up, Kate?
Yep. Sorry I didn't get to catch her.
I was over there bothering her a minute ago, right?
I'll go check it out when I'm not sitting here doing this. But yeah, so congratulations on your show tonight. Was that the first one or no, Kate?
She did one the other day. One last Wednesday, maybe.
So is it going to be
on Wednesday or Thursday?
Is it going to be before Space Force News every Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday at 7. Sorry, I'm not.
Foils just got the latest. Yeah. Are you Kate tonight?
I don't know. Huh. I don't know where she's at. I'm just taking the initiative to answer.
That's good. I like Sunday people that take initiative.
At 7.
Right. All right. So I'm sorry. Please continue.
And it's We the Media. It's not on the Kate Awakening. So if you guys look, you should go subscribe. It's We the Media, and you'll see Kate's lovely face.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to make a post about that, Kate. We need to know your time schedule and what stations you're on. It's hard to keep track
Kate,
of.
Alara is a redhead.
Yes, I'm a redhead now. You haven't seen it? Wait, look. I have red hair now. It fits me, Now I'm more
fire.
Yeah. Now I don't look so old and gray and sort of like, I don't know. It's fire. It fits me, right? It's good. It's good. Yeah. See, I got flames, so we're good.
Right.
Okay.
Flames.
So go ahead, Foil.
Yeah. Well, there's not a lot here. U.S. and Australia are going to have this, virtual training program that they're going to use to simulate real world missions. And I mean, they're training more than just for, cyberspace battles. I mean, the way that I understand it, they're going to be setting up, to be able to run like virtual tests on actual physical real world missions as well. So they're going to be doing a kind of a joint cooperative thing there. The real news is what is going on with Canada, right? And the Chinese.
Yeah, we got to talk about this. This is a real problem here. What? Okay, so
I keep saying, guys, I'm not so good with the schedule. So when I tell you I'm making a video for my channel and it doesn't come out yet, it will. Right. I just have 3 other things I was working on, and today I've been stuck in a China rabbit hole. Like, I'm pretty sure that'll be up tomorrow if you have time.
When are you not in China rabbit hole, Foil?
It's my thing recently. Yeah. I don't know. This is like, I think that a lot of people have gotten a lot of things wrong with respect to this. And I think Russia is an integral key that is really going to depend on what happens on January 20th here. I'm going to break that all down in my video. Like, this could go one of two ways, but it's crazy. But in any case, so everybody has, was up in arms. We saw the videos of the Chinese troops in Canada that people were posting and whatnot. So in 2013, Canada and China came to this agreement where they would do like a troop exchange. Like, there would be some Canadians that would go train in China, and there'd be some Chinese that come train in Canada. And in addition to this, China has bought up copious amounts of land everywhere, and not just in Canada. I mean, places we write off, Africa, South America, whatever. So what they came to an agreement with Canada that if they buy this land and they build a facility there, they can bring in troops to guard their property, right? It doesn't even have to be like, they can call them security, but they're troops is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, well, this past winter, they were supposed to have like these winter training ops, and I'm talking about not this year, 2019, that had gotten canceled. And Trudeau got called onto the carpet for it the other day because Trudeau, he's all loving some China. Yeah, that guy is loving some China. And
we've been completely infiltrated. Do you have the list? Did you get the list from earlier that got dropped?
Yeah, I do. I have it. As a matter of fact, I thought Kate was asking because I told her I thought.
We don't like to propagate fear, but hey, we've been completely infiltrated, and if this can get proven.
I say this.
Yeah, but I
week.
see the good part in this. If this can get proven, this just solidifies with the executive order.
Listen, I'm going to throw a little bit of stuff out there.
Insurrection
okay.
Act. Yep.
Right. Well, there have been a lot of alleged agents that have fled the U.S. recently. But if you remember back, even over the summer when we shut down the Houston consulate and they were burning that, we had photos of them burning papers and stuff before they had to leave because they were spying. Well, I mean, this has been going on, and Trump just happened to be the first person to man up and try to deal with it and increase the pressure on China because they're strategists. They've been playing the long game for a long time. I mean, they've been positioning their people, their acquisitions as far as land and companies and manufacturing. Like, they've been expanding unchecked. And this is what I'm going to go into with my video. But so in any case, as far as Canada, so when that whole mess with Huawei was really kind of firing up, Canada had one of their upper echelon Huawei employees living in Canada. And she has 2 homes in Vancouver, whatever. Well, the U.S. asked Canada to detain her. They wanted to extradite her, right? So they put her on house arrest in her 2 Vancouver homes. Well, in retaliation, China snatched up 2 Canadians that were living over there and working, charged them with spying, has been holding them for 2 years. They have no contact with their families. They've not had any access to a lawyer. Now, Canada's got 1 person on house arrest in their palatial Vancouver homes. China took 2 people and has been holding them in some. I mean, we know about Chinese prisons, man. Like, this is not
all bad. Yeah.
That's all bad.
That's all bad.
But I mean, so it just baffles me that Trudeau is just like, he's a bootlicker. What do you want me to say? He's a bootlicker. But in any case, so now we're starting.
Speak on it.
Huh?
Speak on it, Foyle. Speak on it.
Man, yeah. So now we're seeing some divisions within the Canadian government itself, because clearly there are some patriots in Canada that are not trying to deal with this mess.
Right.
Anti-globalist people they're not trying to deal with this mess, and they really, like I said, it's a lot of this is going to depend on what happens on the 20th of January. But I mean, it's crazy. Like, the UN, China has given 8,000 standing troops to the UN. If you follow me on Twitter and you've seen my thread on Bill Gates and the lab meat, you know that the majority of our grain and meat has been being shipped to China for a minute now.
Yeah.
We're seeing price fluctuations here. We have hardly any stores on stuff like soybeans, which is essential for feeding animals, which is why they're pushing the lab meat.
Yeah, it's essential.
If you can't feed the animals, you can't have the animals. They'll kill them, they'll sell off the meat, and then it'll be Lab Meat City. Like, Bill Gates wins again. I mean, this is all a very intricately woven plot by these people. I mean, it gets worse and worse. And I have 10 pages of notes, and I really just want to spend a good hour and a half and go in on China. And I think that's what I'm going to post tomorrow. But
well, that sounds good. I'm going to be looking forward to that video so that we can go. I want to hear all about it. I'm serious.
It's crazy.
I'm looking
Like, I
forward
mean,
that
and
you're doing
now,
that video. So I'm
yeah, I mean, we already know
make
Hunter
sure
Biden's ties.
Foil's link to her channel is linked below because she's shadow banned just like I am. So you can find her channel down there and her social media accounts. If you're not subscribed to Foil, make sure and subscribe to Foil and click the notification bell so you can get a notification, because you never know when she's gonna do a video, and she just sort of does it
Right.
at
It's
random.
kind of guerrilla.
But it's
I got
always full of a
guerrilla
lot of
info
important
tactics.
new information. Yeah, she's, as you can see on here, it's this on steroids. It's Foil. We love
Yeah,
Foil.
I just go off. I don't have to watch my mouth or nothing. It's great.
Yeah.
Joseph Yanni asked if I had seen about the 50,000 troops dead in Maine. Okay, so what I saw was something I have not had a chance to go personally validate. And for those of you that don't know, I work as a fact checker. So I anything I put up, I have cross-checked. And if I'm wrong about something, I'll say it. But I did see where they were speculating that they claimed something was an earthquake, but really it was an attack on an underground base where there were troops. And I had seen somebody did a thread about how these tunnels that are used by cartels, that they're bringing troops into tunnels, into special, Chinese facilities underground, which I suppose is possible. But like I said, I just want to verify everything before I put it out there. But I did see that, yeah.
I have a friend that's Border Patrol, and he's confirmed that we're just getting invaded right now. Like, invaded.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Like, it's bad. Real bad.
There's a reason that that DARPA was training robots for underground fighting. Remember when they put up that weird cryptic, like, we need an underground thing by Friday or whatever? It was like over the summer, or maybe last year. And the reason they took everybody's night vision stuff, and the reason they've been training, like, remember last week we talked about the hard target. They switched the special operators.
Right.
It's not going to be the regular Green Berets. They have these hard target teams now that are specifically made to be fighting underground and in weird places like this, assuming a threat from China and Russia. There's a reason for all this.
Right.
They're not doing this stuff just because it sounded like some good idea at the time. I mean, there's a reason.
All right. So this comes from the Jerusalem Post too. Could Trump bring an end to what has become known as the Gulf crisis?
Well, we saw this week that Morocco signed on now to the Israeli peace agreement. That they've come. They're normalizing relations, and it's really a crazy thing. Like, having lived in the area, this is an amazing thing that he's done. Whether they recognize this now or not, and because, like, every article I've seen is them hating on him. Well, Qatar has traditionally been very different. I mean, they're on par with, like, Yemen as far as, like, level of potential crazy goes. And I mean, hey, I'm just keeping it 100.
Right.
So Trump has reached out, and Kushner has reached out, and they're having discussions now, on the future of Qatar and whether or not they can come to some agreement on normalized relations with Israel. If they do, and if they do it before he leaves, like, that'll be huge. That'll be huge.
There's been a lot of huge stuff as far as peace relations and stuff like that. The whole time he's been in office, and yet the mainstream media crickets. Yeah,
or hate.
Crickets or hate, or they'll turn it into a hateful thing in some
they bring up stuff later, like this mess with the laptop, like it's new news. Like, don't play like this is new news, people.
Right. Yeah.
Like, this was new news 6 months ago. We've been done talked about this. Like, what are you talking about? They're spiteful.
Yeah, and that there's elements of them that follow the Anons just to know what.
I've said that 100 times. Like, they're stalking
know.
Message boards and stuff. Like, what are they talking about?
Because anybody that really pays attention clues in real quick that we are way ahead of what comes out in the mainstream, right? So I mean, it's just, of course they're going to have elements that are watching that just to see what the narrative is that we're breaking out. You know what I mean? At that moment or whatever, but they're not going to talk about it. Just like they didn't talk about, we can't really go into this right now, but just like they didn't want to ask the question for a long time. It took a long time for that finally to come up, and then in the way that it came up was interesting, the way that it was answered. But anyways, I'm finding that more and more irrelevant at this point, because it's the information and teaching us how to do certain things that was the important part of that, not necessarily where it came, not where it came from. Right. It was a training program. You know what I mean?
For the most part, yeah.
For critical thinking, right? Okay, so fear of China pushing Australia and India towards trade pact.
Yeah, I mean, this is just kind of more what I was talking about. It's interesting because Australia and India have had kind of contentious relations, but now, I don't know if you guys remember a couple of weeks ago, was talking about an article where the United States had bombers flying over what China is calling one of their air defense zones. Like, they just unilaterally declared that this airspace, was inviolable, and we flew our stuff right through the middle of it. Like,
Right.
I mean, that's a total Trump move. I can dig it. So Australia is really starting to get a little nervous. And like we've talked about how India and Japan have started to make, mutual defense accords, and like how things are developing in the region there. So now Australia and India are kind of looking together, like, on this anti-China stuff. I mean, for God's sakes, the Chinese were microwaving their troops, man.
Rob Birch is saying, how about all the China warships that disappeared, and where did they go? Operation Devil Storm?
Well, I know that a lot of speculation about them having underwater bases. I've seen some pictures of submarines coming in and out from underwater, Chinese submarines. Like, these are legit pictures. It's
Clearly,
real.
yeah, I've seen bases that have those. You know what I mean? There's not a whole lot of data on that, but there is some. And clearly we have USOs, because even the mainstream at this point has talked about that there's USOs that come out of the water, right? So
Right.
Are those ours or those ET? Either way, somebody's got a base down there, right? Them or us
Right.
or both. Somebody does.
Yeah, right.
So let's be
mean,
real here.
But it's just kind of crazy. Like, they recently solidified a big, and I talked about this, I think, last week too, or the week before, a big trading block in the area that where China is now the primary factor in a trading block that comprises something like, I don't know what it was, like 40 or 50% of the global GDP. Like, that's huge. We're not a member. India's not a member. Australia, however, is a member, and now I think they're they're starting to see that was all skewed in favor of Beijing in the first place. So this will be interesting to pay attention to see how this develops.
Yeah. Okay. So next one would be how to watch 2020 total.
Oh yeah, we've
total
got an
solar
eclipse tomorrow.
Dark in the skies. But yeah, I was reading about that one.
Yeah,
I was
you
looking
guys
into
been
the space
asking
weather.
about different. Yeah. Oh, did you have it for? I didn't know.
Yeah.
They asked about meteor showers and stuff. Yeah, this is just a quick note. Tomorrow they're gonna have it online. If you pull this article, you should be able to watch it online, because you're only gonna be able to see the total solar eclipse, on your own. I think from like the very bottom of South America. But there will be, oddly enough, a total solar eclipse. And of course we've got the Christmas star coming. Like, I don't know, if I were really looking at astrological signs, it feels kind of foreboding to me, but whatever.
Yeah, they're making a lot of predictions about the 21st, and you're only going to be able to see the eclipse from South America, but they're making
the very bottom of.
They're making a lot of predictions about the 21st lineup situation, so that should
Yeah,
be
I
interesting
know,
to see
right?
what happens that day. Either way, it's going to be interesting.
Right.
Okay, so astronomers discover celestial highway that could rapidly speed up travel through our solar system, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. They just published this the other day. Hold on.
Can you look and see who tagged us? Who tagged us in this article? Do you have it bookmarked?
I do. Let me see if I can do it without.
Okay. I just want to make sure
I
credit them for doing so.
Right. Hold on.
All right. So I'll get started on. So astronomers discover celestial highway that could rapidly speed up travel through our solar system. Astronomers have discovered a celestial highway to travel through the solar system much faster than previously possible. The development raises the prospect of rapidly sending crafts across vast swaths of space.
It was Daryl Devine.
Okay, thank you, Daryl.
Yes.
The extraordinary superhighway network was discovered. Oh, since we're on that, I just wanted to say this real quick before we go any further. I want to thank all the people that made donations on the last show. So thank you, White Hat, Suitorbug, Jerry, Bella Mafia, EO2 Dave. We really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. And thank you to the folks also who have purchased merch this month.
Merch!
Yeah, thank you very much for your purchases, and I hope the discount helped a little bit on that. So anyway, where were we on this? The extraordinary Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Did you want to read it, or do you want me to just say it?
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and go ahead and break it down.
Well, researchers from Serbia and the U.S. have figured out that instead of it taking forever to travel from like the distance between Jupiter and Neptune, which they're measuring in what they call astronomical units. An astronomical unit is the distance from the sun to the earth, right? So it's a freaking long way. They were speculating it would take like somewhere around about 100 years to get that distance, but they were able to figure out that if they use gravity assisted trajectories and they run these they run this gauntlet with like what they're calling damn, that's terrible. Lost the word.
Yeah, well, it's starting to sound like me.
Right? I can't
Yeah.
even think of it either.
Divine Fractal
That's
says
terrible.
the celestial highway, big drip. I agree, and that's awesome about your dream, Lotus.
Manifold, space manifolds.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to use gravity assisted trajectory to kind of fling them around the planets. And instead of going in a straight line, they're going to be taking these lines that are self intersecting.
Right.
And somehow it's only going to take them to travel 25 astronomical units, which should take like a freaking century. They think they can get this done in 10 years, which is, you know, still a long time in a ship.
Pretty cool.
That was
Yeah.
terrible. I could not think of that word.
It's all right. It
Manifold.
happens sometimes. It happens to me all the time. Okay, so here we are about. So who was it that we didn't even write down who was it that tagged us? Or no, it wasn't. It was. I saw Mr. Deeds posted an article about the super.
What are you
soldier.
talking? The Chinese. See, that's not what I pulled. If
Right.
you look.
Yeah, but I put that article, and then you put in the France one, right?
I don't know. This is the only one I think I have in here. Either way, China came out the other day, right, and admitted apparently that they were going to use, you know, bioengineering to make super soldiers. Like, we're not surprised by this. I mean, what was it, like a couple of years ago? They caught the dude experimenting on those kids, on the babies, where he was trying to make them, you know, HIV immune. But, you know, one of the side effects might have been super increased intelligence or whatever. Like, he got caught. He was chastised on the world stage for it. But please don't think they haven't been doing this forever.
Right.
Right. So China is making super soldiers. So this kind of makes me laugh, like France, soldiers from France. Just, I'm sure they're great.
French super soldiers. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's
So now France says, yeah, okay, well, we'll do it too. And it's crazy because, you know, I mean, France used to be.
She has a
heavily
photo.
Catholic
She has a
nation.
photographic memory too, Jerry.
What?
So-
What
so
did you say?
you're a double threat. You're very smart and you have a photographic memory. It's pretty incredible. So
Oh,
go ahead.
thanks.
Go ahead, Foil.
Yeah. Well, France is like has traditionally been a very heavily Catholic nation, and Catholics generally are not a big fan of you know, messing with the genome. But
Right.
apparently France is all in now. They said they got to stay competitive with everybody else, and if China's gonna do it, they're gonna do it too. They actually released a report like from their military ethics committee breaking down all the reasons why they felt like they needed to do this. And it's just great. Like, have you people not seen the Wrath of the Khan? Like, this ends badly.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we do a lot of things on this planet that we know will end badly, but we do them anyway. It's very strange.
Man, like,
Yeah.
I don't understand it at all. Like, you don't ever stop to think if you should. Like, just no.
All right,
know.
so the best meteor shower of 2020 is about to light up our atmosphere. Yeah, I saw this in the
Yeah,
space weather too. You found articles on all this stuff. It's pretty
I'm
cool.
sorry.
No.
I had pulled these. I didn't even look at the space weather. I mean, I was just going to tell them that, especially tonight and tomorrow, I think is peak time for the Geminid meteor shower. You should be able to see it if the sky is clear. I mean, in the northern hemisphere, you should be able to see some of this.
The peak of the brilliant annual Geminids or Geminids
Yeah,
meteor
Geminids.
shower is happening on December 13th and 14th, the space agency advised on Friday. This natural light show is created when the leftover trail of dust and bits from an asteroid or rocky comet fall through and burn up in our atmosphere each December. In 2020, the Geminid viewing will be especially good.
The Geminids.
Right, the Geminids. Right? Is that kind of like, okay. If you're graced with a clear night, NASA noted, because there's nearly a new moon, meaning there will be darker skies and no moonlight to wash out the faintier meteors. Here's the crux of what you should know. Okay, so Sunday night is the big night, which is tonight. The peak will happen on the night of December 13th into the morning of December 14th, with some meteor activity visible in the days before and after. NASA said. Oh, great. So that just completely, I mean, are we sure this is even going to happen? Or?
Yeah, no, I mean, this is a predictable thing. But this is saying the southern hemisphere. Oh, no, viewing is good all night for the northern hemisphere, and then 2 a.m. and after midnight for the southern hemisphere.
Right. Key stargazing advice.
Yeah, I
If
know
it's not cloudy, get away from the bright lights, lie on your back, and look up. Remember to let your eyes get adjusted to the dark. You'll see
I might have to
more
go
meteors that
outside
way.
after this.
You know they're
I'm in
going
a
to be
perfect
doing.
place for
They're
that.
going to be doing some. They're going to be doing some weirdness, right? Because they know this meteor shower's going on, and they can blame it on that, right? So you
Cover.
know, right? This is the perfect cover. You know they're going to be doing some weird stuff. So I'm going to be looking for the weird stuff
how
that's.
they do it.
I'm going to be looking for some weird stuff that's not a meteor all night. That's what I'll be out there doing. Okay, so. American diplomats in Cuba were likely targeted by microwave energy.
Yes, again. Man, listen. Remember last week we were talking about how China was microwaving Indian soldiers?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, a few years ago, I saw somebody, I had written an article and they were speculating that there was some sort of microwave weaponry being used against our staff in Cuba. And apparently, this is what's happening. They released a new government study that formally concluded they were using targeted microwave energy to explain what was going on by our diplomatic staff there. I mean, they were having headaches, they were having neurological problems, they sounds in the ears, things that they couldn't understand what was going on. And it's crazy because this didn't just happen in Cuba. Apparently, this also happened to American diplomats and officials in China. So imagine that. China's microwaving people everywhere. Like, these people are, man, they ain't playing. Like, we need to do something about this right now.
Right.
But yeah, it's that same pulsed radio frequency weapon like they used on the Indian troops that they're using at a lower setting to just kind of long-term mess somebody up. They're not frying them directly, but they're messing with they're causing neurological issues in the brain with these people.
Yep. They definitely do that. That's for sure.
Right.
Hi, DK. It's good to see you. Yeah. They definitely.
So there's that. That's all for my doom and gloom section of the show,
right.
though.
Yeah. So no more doom and gloom. What are we on to now? Oh, Danish researchers developed a nanochip that could achieve quantum supremacy.
Everybody is claiming quantum supremacy. I saw China release something where they claimed that they had attained quantum supremacy the other day. I'm like, okay. Well, apparently at the University of Copenhagen, they've now made a microchip that they're going to use photons. Like, remember how we talked about light, matter from light and whatnot, whatever. Like, light photons can be manipulated to do an amazing range of things. But so they're going to be using these photons to store massive amounts of data. And they're going to put them on these little chips. They call them qubits, and they're going to use them to run, the quantum computers of the future. But in essence, instead of like the binary where it's 1 or 0, and that's how computers do their calculations now. I mean, it's basically just a decision tree all the way down. They can store on 1 and 0. Like they can use one probability, the other probability, both. Like, it gives them infinitely more options, and they're able to solve problems so much quicker that way. But they're going to be using photons to do it, which is interesting.
Exciting happenings. What do we have? What time is it here?
Now we're on disclosure.
We're on disclosure?
All
right.
Yep.
We love disclosure.
Look at that. I was quick today.
Yeah. So I knew we were going to be covering this too. And this is kind of like, so I covered some of this last night. I did a show with Brad where we just kind of covered the rally stuff, and we ended up covering some of this stuff too. But we're going to go over it because this is Space Force News, and of course we have to go over it here. This is really significant. And here's what I think is the most significant about this. I'm the first one to call out like the ATIP partial disclosure narrative, and I'm not cool with it. I'm very open about the fact that I'm for full disclosure, and I don't like the partial disclosure. I can see when it's being pushed by the wrong elements and so forth. But this is interesting because this article came out by an Israeli, what do you call it, outlet?
He was a defense minister,
right? And then it came out by the Jerusalem Post, and then the New York Post picked it up. So if you look at just who picked it up and who put it out, in and of itself, those aren't necessarily. If it was the partial disclosure narrative trying to be pushed on the population to slowly seed them, it would be being pushed by your more fake news outlets, right, that are constantly pushing propaganda and fake news. So the fact that it came from the sources it came from makes me think that maybe this was a legitimate disclosure that maybe they weren't expecting. And then what it says in the article is that this is a huge deal. Former Israeli space security chief says aliens exist, humanity is not ready. This Galactic Federation has supposedly been in contact with Israel and the U.S. for years, but are keeping themselves a secret to prevent hysteria until humanity is ready. Okay, so he goes on to say, has the state of Israel made contact with aliens? According to retired Israeli officer and current professor Haim Eshed. I've been trying to locate this guy too, and I can't find any way to contact him. So, Foyle, if you figure that out, please let me know. The answer is yes, but this has been kept a secret because humanity isn't ready. Speaking in an interview to Yedit Aronot Eshed, who served as the head of he was the head of Israeli space program for nearly 30 years and is a 3-time recipient of the Israeli Security Award. He explained that Israel and the U.S. have both been dealing with aliens for years. And this by no means refers to immigrants, clarifying that he's talking about the existence of the Galactic Federation. This guy's 87 years old, you guys, and he's got very legitimate credentials.
He does.
The 87-year-old former head of the Defense Ministry's Space Division gave further descriptions and exactly what sort of agreements have been made between the aliens and the U.S., which ostensibly have been made because they wish to research and understand the fabric of the universe. This cooperation includes a secret underground base on Mars, where there are American and alien representatives, he says.
Yep.
If true, this would coincide with the U.S. President Donald Trump's creation of the Space Force as the 5th branch of the U.S. Armed Forces. Though it's unclear how long this sort of relationship, if any, has been going on between the U.S. and its reported extraterrestrial allies. You know, I'm really kind of glad that we haven't called Space Force yet, Foyle, because I'm going to tell you right now.
I mean, now we can ask about it and not
we're
sound
going to ask
like
about
nutters.
this. Exactly. And we're going to ask about this because it's a legitimate question.
Now
why
is
the Israeli space head coming out saying we have an underground base on Mars?
Well, not just him. Remember, what was his
Paul
Canada,
Hellyer.
Paul Hellyer, the defense minister from Canada. I mean, that's a cabinet level guy.
Number 2 or number 3 that's done this. Okay, so I'm going to ask them if they'd like to comment, you know, and what they have to say about it. So it'll be interesting to see what they say. But for some reason, I feel like I don't think whatever this is happening here, I don't think this was expected. But don't put it past the bad guys. Don't put it past the bad guys to take this and you try to use it to their advantage. So, you know, stay alert, guys. So what do you say? Escher provided more information in his newest book, The Universe Beyond the Horizon, Conversations with Professor Haim Eshed, along with other details such as how aliens have prevented nuclear apocalypses. And we can jump in and visit the Men in Black. The book is available now for NIS 98.
You know what? Alara, remind me, and I'll give you my account so you can read that book online. I have it. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm going to have to read that for sure. Definitely for sure. Divine Fractal says, I can't find the guy either. Salah did a video. Yeah, I look for him. I'm hunting him down. You guys know I'm trying to hunt him down, right? Humanity is ready. Time to jump into the deep. I don't know, you guys. What do you think?
What was that? Was it the Brookings report? Was that the name of the report that they said that they did along to determine that if humanity was ever told, everybody would flip out?
This is what I don't understand.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. The Brookings report.
If this is accurate, right? So they've got agreements. Like the guys the people that are in charge of our world and our world governments are bad people. They're the cabal, right? So that's the part of that I don't understand. Is why would you have agreements with the cabal and remain hidden and stay secret from us and, you know, keep your ships cloaked and all that stuff when it's the people, you know, what we resonate with and who we are is completely different from our evil overlords, you know, but yet they're dealing with them in some capacity, allegedly, but yet not openly dealing with us. So, and forget, you know, I'm ignorant when it comes to this stuff. I don't know how it all works, but I find that to be sort of like, I don't understand that. And maybe they're waiting for our consciousness to rise before they can make themselves known on a mass scale because, well, you know, we can't even stop fighting with each other yet. But also, a large reason why we can't is because our cabal's been manipulating us for thousands of years.
I think I've told you this, but I worry that, you know, my concern is that they're gonna, I mean, they're trying, the bad guys, the black hats are trying to foment this division so that we'll fight, and maybe they'll use this as an excuse, not necessarily even a real one. Like maybe that they'll just come up with some nonsense after they've broken society to the point that they can't fix it from there, and then they'll use this to unify everybody. You know, I don't know.
So Foil,
kind of touch and go with this.
we have gotten disclosure now on mainstream media that off-world ships. We've seen videos of UFOs. We've now got, this is the second one that I can name that I'm aware of that has come forward. And this claims made in this article are far beyond what has been made in the past. In the past, Paul Hellyer has claimed there's extraterrestrial alliances and that there's ETs already here. But this man is actually claiming we have a base on Mars and that Americans are already on Mars and they've entered into agreements with the ETs. All I am saying
is that it is possible that these people were fed bad information so that they would push it out and you know, like, he believes this because he saw the documents, but who put those together? I'm saying it's possible that even this information has been manipulated to the point that, you know, so that it could ultimately be used in whatever way they saw fit.
Well, it's interesting too,
because you know I'm a believer. You know what I think. You already know what I think.
Right. Well,
you know, so I'm not. It's not like I'm discounting it, but what I'm saying is, like, evil people do evil stuff, and if evil stuff includes dropping bad intel to get people to think one way so that they can swoop it around and use it to their advantage, I wouldn't discount that.
I do think I do think there's I do think right. I know. Me and Foyle have very different perspectives on this stuff. I do think there's a Galactic Federation, and I do think they're what you would call angelics, right? They're benevolent. So that's the part about this that I don't get, because in my estimation and in my understanding, it would be the lower dimensional kind of ETs that would be having interactions and treaties and whatever with our Earth governments, whatever Foyle wants to call them, fallen angel, lower dimensionals, that type of thing. So I really don't see us being in agreements with the higher ones. I see them not.
Yeah, what do they need to make treaties for?
Right. So that's, that's the part that I don't understand. And then he's saying too that, Trump knows about this, he's known about this, and that he's going to disclose, which I really do think that that's going to happen. I mean, look, that's what the point I was just trying to make, Foyle, is that first we've got the disclosures of the ships, and we've got Hellyer saying there's aliens, we've got him saying now there's a base, which is really disclosing the secret space program a little bit, or pushing it along, right? What's next? There's nowhere left to go in disclosure but decloak the ships and a landing. There's nowhere left to go. Like, it's been admitted now, you guys. There's ETs, there's alliances, there's ships. We don't understand it. Blah, 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 blah. There's nowhere left to go now but decloak the ships.
They've surely given it one hell of a build-up.
Right.
So they've been building this up for a long time, for sure. I mean, it's got to come to a head in one way or another.
Right.
I mean, they can't just string this along forever.
No, it's obviously going somewhere, and it's going to have to culminate and end somewhere. So I'm just thinking decloak the ships has got to come soon. I mean, bad guys got to go down, yes. But
I mean, if they've been like you guys know, I'm Christian. I think I fully believe there are aliens. It's life on other planets, whatever. I just think that whatever is here is probably not so good.
She thinks the ones that are here are bad guys. Yeah.
I do.
So
I do.
And we kind of agree in that respect, because I think the ones that are dealing with our cabal and that are kidnapping people and stuff, I think those are bad guys. But I don't know it all. I stay open, and I don't know everything. I just have my own loose understandings of things. And so we kind of agree on that. You know what I mean? We see it a little differently, but we mostly agree on that one. So anyway, yeah. So hopefully, guys, we're
there
on
are
our way
around
to
people
real
get
disclosure.
mad video clips now. I mean, it's out. The information, like,
it's out
something's
there.
out there.
That's right.
Something's out there.
The
truth is out there.
We're definitely on our way to some major. I mean, that's what's next. They're gonna have to decloak the ships. So there you go.
Something.
I found this was interesting. So while we're on the topic of disclosure and ships and all that kind of stuff, UFO Sightings Daily posted a video where he was on Google Earth, which he does frequently, and he was checking out a base, and he found not like a spaceship, but a plane that was sitting on the airport runway.
Oh, was this? You know what? Was this the triangle
one?
one?
This is so interesting. No. This is a regular plane. So let me try to get to the part where he's talking about it right quick. This is really interesting that he found this, because we do have cloaking tech, you guys, and this just is a very good example of.
Have you seen Oh, thanks, Suiterbug. Good morning.
Hold on, before we start playing this, let me. Okay. Thank you, Suiterbug. Suiterbug says, I almost missed it. Good morning from North Carolina. Hey, Alara. Hey, Foyle. It's good to see you, Suiterbug.
We're glad you made it.
Yeah, glad you made it. Thank you for your support, Suiterbug, as always.
Yes, we love you.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, do I have the button on? Yeah, I got the button on.
Oh, you can. I can. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so here I go
That's
over
crazy.
here. So check this out, you guys. So we're talking about
That
cloaking
is
technology.
crazy. Is it cloaked or did they
Look
black
at
it out
this.
for some
No, look
reason?
at this. Check this out.
Look at that.
Work on B-1 bombers, and not too far away, right here, there's a B-1 bomber sitting next to a cloaked B-1 bomber.
That is
Now you see one B-1 bomber
Look at that.
here, but as I turn, you'll actually begin to see another B-1 bomber. Can you see it?
That's
Yeah,
wild.
that's
Cloaked.
crazy.
That's
But you
wild.
can
I mean,
still see
That's
the
wild.
outline of
Because
the B-1
it's
bomber.
sitting there.
Let me turn
He's
it
right.
so you can see it a little bit better. Can you see it right there? Has the United States Air Force actually
that is
made
nuts.
a
Isn't that
cloaking
nuts?
device? Now, we've heard the military, U.S. military, talking about cloaking devices all the time, and then suddenly it went quiet for the last 10 years.
You know what?
So
Actually,
that's
Alara,
yeah. That's
something
wild.
doesn't look right even with the plane that's not cloaked.
So look, I can't verify this or whatever, but I've heard that our triangles can not just cloak themselves, but can actually project a hologram and make themselves appear as an airplane
Be
or
something else.
a helicopter. And I've had an experience personally that tells me this is probably accurate information. Okay, so when you're looking at something like this, are you even really looking at a plane? But I don't see why they would cloak and make themselves look
Listen
like
to
a
what I'm
plane
telling
while
you.
they're cloaked. That doesn't make any sense.
If
to me.
you pull up at 1 minute and 44 seconds in that video,
This
even
one?
the plane, yes, the one you just had up, even the plane that is not cloaked, it looks like there is something around it.
Right. Hold on. Wait, what's the timestamp again?
1 minute for 144.
Okay. 144.
Just pause it right at 144 and look at the underneath of where the plane is. It looks like there's something.
Right? Hold on.
Do you see it?
Yeah, I see it. I see what you're talking about.
Wonder what,
Okay,
what's
let me
up with
show
that?
them. Let me show them
Yeah,
and see
show
what
them.
they think. So if you look, you guys, if you look right under here,
No, under the visible plane.
under the visible plane, this one?
Yes, look underneath the tail, underneath the wing, underneath the nose. Like, what is going on with that? Do you not see that?
reflection under it. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's kinda
what is that? It's
weird.
like a shimmer.
Right? So
What
are
is
we
with that?
looking at are
I
these
don't
things
know.
not planes that we're looking at?
I don't have any idea, dude.
But they're being projected as planes and maybe the one on the left is glitching out?
Bruh. I don't know.
I don't know. What do
I
you
have no
guys
idea.
think? I mean, that's a possibility. Look at the colors underneath this one, which is odd, right? I don't know. That's interesting, though. I mean, I don't know. You could be right. Tanet says not a B-1 bomber, different. So maybe if they can do the holograms, you know what else that would explain, Foil? That would explain, you know, those videos we've seen of spaceships, or not spaceships, but airplanes just stuck in midair, just stopped.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like
we
a
call
projection.
it, yeah, we call it a glitch in the matrix,
Glitch in
right?
the matrix.
Yeah, but if
projection
that's a TR-3B that's sitting there,
if
cloaked,
it's hovering,
and it's trying to make itself look like a plane or a chopper, boom.
that's a good point. That's
Boom.
possible.
That explains the glitch in the matrix of the plane sitting there still.
Stony just as a tarmac is pretty hot. It could be a mirage effect. I would imagine. I mean, that's
Could be.
concrete though. It's not black. Like I mean, as far as like heat reflection goes, I don't know. I mean, that's entirely possible. It just seems weird to me. I mean, that surely wouldn't explain the completely cloaked up one though. I mean, the
that's
mirage
super
under
the one on the,
the
left
regular
is,
one, but
the
the other
one on
one,
the left is
I don't-
super weird, man.
unless
Like,
Google has edited it out for some reason.
I don't know. We don't know, but it's weird.
It is weird. That's what rampant speculation.
Okay,
That's
so
what we're good at. People.
last week we saw a video.
Jitterbug said, "Is that a force field?"
So
Maybe.
right?
Right. Sorry.
That's
Go
the
ahead.
thought. Okay, so shout out to Scott over at UFO Sightings Daily. That video is super
Yeah.
awesome.
Woo.
It's super awesome that he found that, and yeah, so shout out to him. I went from last week. We went over that one whatever we saw going by the moon. I mean, you couldn't really tell what it was because there was just one of them, and it wasn't the clearest thing. So I wanted to show you guys the other moon video. Yeah, the other moon video. This one, it's a little more clear what's going on here, right? So let's go ahead and play this. This I found fascinating when it came out. Really, truly, like truly fascinating. I'd never seen any footage like this, but it's just pretty clear what's going on here. I mean, at least to me it is. So let's. Oh, we're gonna be right in the way of the
Go
ships.
ahead. You can. You know what? Go ahead
Here.
and take me off of the screen.
I'm gonna take you off the screen. There we go.
Go right
and
ahead.
I'm gonna move me.
Sitting here.
I'm gonna move me.
Not doing anything.
I'm gonna move me over here because I'm in the way of the ships. We can't have that. All right, here we go. I want to play Star Wars music when this video plays.
Right.
And here they come.
They're so low.
Right?
They're so low.
You can see the shadows.
Yeah.
And they look like circular craft. They look like cigar-shaped craft.
Maybe.
Yep. Like a whole fleet of them, dude. Now they zoom in right here and they get a closer look, guys.
Look at that.
I wish I could hum the Star Wars theme. But look
Well,
at
I'll tell you what, the moon is certainly
And then
round.
here's the interesting part about them, right? Is that you can see they're clearly like cylindrical.
Yeah, they are.
And then they're
not satellites.
You can see the energy field around them, in front of them, actually.
Yeah, it does seem to look like that.
Look, you can see the energy field in front of them. Check this out. This is what I think really interesting. And then they either, I don't know what makes them disappear, if they're just disappearing off frame or what, but it looks like, but you can clearly see the energy field around them, you guys. Like, look at this. Look right in front of the ships. Right before they start to go out.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going to start a flat moon theory.
That footage is rather compelling. I mean, when it comes to footage, that's rather compelling.
And they have to be huge. Like, their size with relation to the moon.
Right.
They would have to be huge craft.
Right. So, this just lends credence to many of the stories and whistleblower testimony that we've all heard about, secret space program. So,
it's the devil.
I think that's a really interesting video. Oh, let's not do that. Okay? We have a lot of different beliefs here. Don't we, Foil?
You're going to let me make jokes. Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you, Sandra. Appreciate you.
We love you too.
I love you guys. Yeah, we love you guys too. We love our space peeps. Okay, yes. so that kind of concludes the disclosure section of the show. We're at what, 7:28? Our what is she laughing at?
Me? I'm always laughing.
Are they laughing out? Here they go. Alara and Foil arguing about aliens again. No, we try not to argue about aliens on air. We try not to
on air.
Right. All right. So Schumann resonance is picking up pace. It was picking up pace last week. It's definitely back in.
We definitely saw some action.
I gotta put you back on the screen, Foil, and I gotta move me back where I was. Fine. Here, let me go. Move me back. Whoops. Move me back in the blacked out area. There we go. And let's move Foil back. There she is. All right, so we got that worked out. All right, so here's the Schumann. It looks like, it's hanging out above 24. We've even got some action down here between 32 and 36. That interference pattern that was there is gone. So
we did see some whiteouts last week. I think from that CME maybe.
Right. That was one of those. It was hitting today.
Oh, we still, I don't know, but we still didn't show the attack on the sun video.
Right. We need to show. So put that down for next week. We need the attack on the sun. And what was the other one that we needed to show?
I don't know.
What did I just say a couple minutes ago? Maybe the chat will remember what it is that we're. Anyway. So for space weather, of course, there's a meteor alert. For solar flares, all we have is A class and B class, which is nothing to speak of. So the main thing going on right now with space weather would be the meteor alert this weekend, which we already kind of went into. Yeah, we already covered that with the article, so there's really no need.
And Patrick Rooney, I did briefly address the earthquake in Maine and what the potential theories on that were. Yeah.
We did? Who was this?
Yeah, when I was talking about how I was talking about China. They were saying there was an earthquake in Maine, but I had seen some speculation to the point that maybe it was an underground base that was attacked, and there were supposedly 50,000 Chinese troops in there. Yeah.
Okay, so quickly before we close the show, you guys, I saw this article a few hours ago and thought I would add it at the last minute. Just again, another example of disclosures that we're getting kind of left and right. Again, this is coming from the New York Post. It's not coming from CNN. It's not coming from Fox. It's not coming from MSNBC. It is coming from the New York Post, which I think, again, is interesting. That's always something to pay attention to when you see these kinds of things come out. So, again, it's not a big deal, but it is them talking about UFOs and ETs and this sort of thing even more. So NYC UFO sightings in 2020 are up 283% from 2018. This has been one far out year. UFO sightings across the city are up 31% from last year, 46 compared with 35, and an eye-popping 283% from 2018's measly dozen, according to the National UFO Reporting Center.
Dozen? Jeez.
Brooklyn is tops
That's
in
nothing.
tinfoil hatters. Oh, see? Maybe you should move to Brooklyn. Sounds like that's
Yeah,
your area.
no
Foil.
thanks.
Yeah.
Right. They can move out here, though. I know they probably want to get out of there. They're all locked in their houses. They got nothing else to do but sit there and look at the sky.
Hey, I'm with you, GU. I definitely think that the moon is at some sort of base. Okay, I'm totally tracking
Right.
you on that.
I was joking about the flat moon theory, but maybe.
Right. I don't. Yeah, the moon's probably not flat since we can see it.
I'm just saying I want to make up some kind of random
That's fine. You can do that.
crazy conspiracy theory and push it.
You
like
may have
birds
you may
aren't
have to
real.
move to Brooklyn and go live with the rest of your
Right.
people. All right, 12 close encounters. Oh, 12 close encounters in Brooklyn. Looks like Brooklyn's the spot, huh? And
Probably
let's
them
see.
aliens down there robbing people.
Not far behind are Manhattan with 11 and Queens with 10. Staten Island claims just 8 despite the borough's rep for not social distancing.
Oh, they just felt like they'd throw that in there.
The Bronx is even more grounded, chalking up a mere 5. Two of the more memorable intergalactic incidents happened in the summertime on Staten Island and in the Bronx. In the wee hours of July 21st, an islander spotted and stared at an oval craft that looked and sounded like a helicopter. Interesting. Just saying. Then the mysterious
Wait a minute.
flying machine.
How is it an oval craft if it looked like a helicopter?
I mean, clearly the sky was high. I'm just saying.
Yeah, like, that's the only.
I mean, clearly the
plausible
explanation
answer.
here is somebody took a really good hit, and that was it.
Yeah, that's it.
And
right?
all of a sudden, the helicopter turned into a oval craft. But
Right.
But anyway, looked and sounded like a helicopter. Then the mysterious flying machine sent a surge of heat radiation through my body. Again,
It's microwaving people too. Okay.
right? Great.
All right.
That's all
Yeah,
we need.
not going to Brooklyn. I'm
Right.
good.
The islander honestly thought it was the government putting something into the air and everything going on during these times. And I thought I would wake up and find it all over the news or on Instagram. I don't know. Maybe homeboy's, the homeboy was
He was
perfectly
blazed.
right.
No, he was blazed, dude.
Hey, give him the benefit of the doubt, Foil. Come on.
And he was high AF.
How would you like
come
people
on
to
now.
say that if you saw a UFO, right? Oh, Foil was high.
Man, listen, I have seen things, and that's exactly what they thought at the time. I was rolling up blunts. Like,
Yeah,
they
I don't
thought,
care
what's wrong with you?
What people think. I'm over it now, or I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing, right? Like
I know, right?
If you'd have told me a few years ago, you realize you're gonna get into ufology and disclosure, and I would have been like, what? I'm gonna do what?
I don't know. See, I've always been interested. I just recently have come to some other
I've always been
conclusions, but This has always been kind of my thing.
I've always been interested in ancient technology and all. I've always thought there was a lot of weird stuff on this planet that nobody could explain it, and I thought it was alarming that nobody was concerned that they couldn't explain it, right? And
Yes, right? Like, how are you really satisfied with these ridiculous non-answers we've gotten?
right. Like,
Yes, I tend to get very irate about those
Like, I
things.
remember watching the Egyptian specials as a kid and just being like, what are these people talking about? This is not a tomb. What are they, you
Right.
know what I mean? Like, but I never really, I got wrapped up and sucked up and caught up in the Matrix and didn't really give it much thought until,
It happens.
until I had a really close, crazy encounter. And I was like, oh, snap. And I could see God. I was like, oh, snap. This is all fake, and I've been caring about the wrong things, and I need to change my life. So
That's the goal, to get us to care about the wrong things. But it's all right.
they did it successfully to me for a very long
We're
time.
waking up now, right?
Yeah. All right. So anyway, so yeah, it looks like we got lots of UFO activity. Some people potentially blazed, some not. We don't know.
Blazed.
All we have is speculation. Late on
Grandpa,
June 8th,
that's what we do best.
a Broxiite watched 30 objects flying in a perfect line in perfect synchronicity that looked like a bunch of moving stars. The observer insisted, "I don't think or take any drugs whatsoever. I'm not a UFO conspiracy theorist."
That sounds like Starlink.
An eerie episode can happen anytime, anywhere. On the night of September 15th, a Brooklynite stuck his head out the bathroom window of my second floor home and saw orange metallic orbs standing still. How are they standing still if they're orbs? They were standing?
They were stationary.
Oh, they were stationary.
Right.
Standing still over the Karanasi, Jamaica Bay area. Reported the stunned stargazer. By the time I called my son, they were gone. I could not believe my eyes. ETs can also put on a show on February 21st, a Manhattanite reported 6 UFOs dancing at the Statue of Liberty on February 21st.
Wait, what?
I didn't UFOs see that part. Dancing at the Statue of Liberty, friend.
They were getting down.
Right. The
down.
reports offer time, place, and lots of speculation, but not many details, and the observers don't usually ID themselves.
That's funny.
Hey, I'm willing to put my name on it. Are you?
Right. I do no drugs whatsoever. What he saw was Starlink. 30 lights in a exact line moving. That's Starlink.
We need to teach people. Look, we need to take some footage of what Starlink looks like, and we need to make a show just about educating people. Like, this is Starlink.
This is Starlink.
This is not Starlink. This is not Starlink. Right? And it's crazy too, because some of the ships, they can look like shooting stars. You have to be tuned in. Like, really, they do that to kind of dupe you. Like, it depends. Like, but they can to a person that's not paying attention, it can look like a shooting star. But if you're really tuned in, they'll do that just to get your attention, so that they do different stuff, but it all depends on whether you're paying attention or not. So anyway, the whole UFO topic is very interesting, and I just think it's very interesting that yet we're getting another article. Like, when did this ever happen before, you guys? Like they would just write an article about everybody's UFO sightings in the state of New York. Like, I mean,
right now,
back to back behind the Israeli stuff
to pick up on anything that will keep people's minds busy, like the monolith stuff
and that stuff, right? Like, that is it's crazy,
super exciting. Like, they're all over the place now, everybody's following it. Like, just something for people to do.
We're gonna have to cover the latest monolith craziness next week. Like, that
I saw a video on YouTube, and I don't know if I posted it on Twitter, I don't know, but it's some guy claiming that he made them. I mean, he did look like he was responsible for at least 1 or 2 of them.
Well,
I don't know,
lots of weirdness out there, you guys. So I have a couple announcements before we close the show. I already went into subscribing to Foyle's channel. That should be doing new videos soon. The links are in the description below to find her channel and to find her on social media. Journey to Truth will be on the Keystone channel Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So that would be tomorrow. So that's pretty cool. That's going to be cool to have Journey to Truth on the Keystone channel.
Woohoo!
I will be interviewing Red Colley. He's a very fascinating guy, very, very smart, very well educated. He's like the leading expert on crop circles in the world. And I've downloaded all of his slides, and we're going to be doing like crop circle school.
Listen, before I even forget, I'm telling you now, I want you to ask him about the one where they translated, I don't know if it was in binary or what it was, but they were saying not to trust the aliens or whatever it was. I want to know specifically about that one.
Well, you're going to be at that interview. Just ask Red. Ask him about that one, because I'm sure he knows all about it. Like, I know nothing about crop circles, you guys, so this is super exciting for me. Like, crop circle school, I'm going to have slides.
Oh, good Lord.
Red's going to be teaching the class. Like, this is going to be awesome. So go ahead.
No, it's something else. I've been paying attention to that for a long time. I mean, they've really upped game as far as the crop circles go.
I've always wanted to learn about
mathematic formulas and whatever else. Like, they're some next level stuff.
Like, and the way what he's broken it down to me so far is they communicate to us through the crop circles. That, like, I don't know. I can't wait to learn. It's going to be an interesting experience. We're going to be talking about mainly the crop circles, but we're going in time travelers and some of his decodes. He does very fascinating decodes. And so it's going to be super fun. Wednesday night, 6:30 Pacific, here on my channel. Other than that, I hope somebody dropped a link to Kate's new project with IET, which is We the Media. Hopefully somebody did drop a link. I think
Debbie did.
So everybody can find them. And it looks like so far they're going to be Sunday nights before this show. If you get any other dates, Kate, please let me know.
Wait, hold on. Divine Fractal says Red Colley literally wrote a textbook on DNA, and he was the one that they went to decode Rendlesham Forest, the information from the craft. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's
about that.
He is like, he's amazing. I can't say enough about him. He's super. Anybody that knows who he is knows this is like, you know. But a lot of people, I don't think they know who he is. It's like me. I know very little about crop circles. That's why I can't wait to do this interview with him, because he's going to teach me about a topic I'm very curious about, but I know nothing about it. So yeah, that's going to be a fascinating interview. I'm really excited for that. Yeah. So on that note, thank you so much to the mods for working so hard. And thank you to the people that gave us super chats. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We love you, Space Peeps, so very much.
We love the Space Peeps, right?
Yeah, we
Guys,
love our
please
Sunday nights. Okay.
make sure to like and share and subscribe, and follow us on Twitter. Obviously, our links are in the description below. You can also donate to Space Force News at loyaltothefoil.com. Just specify that it's for SFN. Also in the description below, we've got merch. Check it out. Christmas is coming. I think if you do it now, like, you have to do it rather quickly.
Codename Kraken for for shipping discount.
Yeah.
Yes, Kraken.
I think you can get it before Christmas. Make sure to meet us here next Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, for another awesome episode of Space Force News Live. Keep your eyes on the skies and stay loyal.
We are your news in this dimension and the next. Good night, Space Peeps.